Welcome to the Best in the Game podcast, the best podcast on the planet Earth. I'm your host, Mike Jones, aka Jersey Mike, and today got a few topics to discuss on the show. Before we get into that, please be sure to like and subscribe to the podcast on YouTube. You can also find Best in the Game podcasts wherever you like to listen to podcasts, including Apple Podcasts and or Spotify. First and foremost, thank you so very much. Appreciate it. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me. I greatly appreciate you for that. I don't know what episode this is. I don't keep track of them in that way, but your boy been doing this for a minute. These numbers starting to go up. I'm really starting to feel it, getting my groove here, getting my bag. So really appreciate y'all rocking out with your boy. And let's keep this thing going. Let's keep this thing going. Be sure to tell a friend to tell a friend. Subscribe, like, follow on social media, Instagram, TikTok, all that. Greatly appreciate y'all. Let's get to these topics. The Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys are in the news again, like they always are. So Dallas Cowboys, we're coming up on the NFL season. We got a situation. We got a situation here. Jerry Jones, GM, president, owner of the Dallas Cowboys, appears to be holding out on signing Micah Parsons. This story comes from NBC Sports. 10 days ago. 10 days ago, Micah Parsons made a public request to be traded. Next day, Jerry brushed it off as a negotiation tactic. Since then, Micah has doubled down or otherwise confirmed his position. He also hasn't rescinded it. And so at this time, there are very real rumblings that the Cowboys will imminently be making the kind of offer they're confident Parsons will take, which will coincide with the major final PR push for the Jerry Jones show on Netflix. It's entirely possible that it's too late for that. So, Micah Parsons, he wants to be traded. He wanted to be signed. He was trying to get a deal done for quite some time. We've been here before, folks. Jerry plays hardball. He's typically signing people at the very last minute. I do believe the last two major signings he did, Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, got done on day one of the season, game one or something like that. So this is what Jerry does. This is what Jerry does. Jerry's been playing this game for quite some time, just keeping the Dallas Cowboys in people's brains and in their face. But Micah Parsons isn't with it. He's not with the shits. He wanted to get signed. He thought that he would be a Cowboy for life. I do believe he alluded to he always wanted to play for the Dallas Cowboys coming out of Penn State, growing up, things of that sort. But this article seems to allude to the idea that the two might be real far apart on these negotiations, and there's a very good chance that Parsons won't sign with the Cowboys. Uh, I get it. I get it. Like, on Jerry's side, it's one of those things. He's always done this. He always alludes to the idea of what it takes to be a Dallas Cowboy and how it's such a prestigious institution. It's such a prestigious team. I don't know if it's still considered America's team. I'm not going to go so far to say that. Like, I do feel like the Patriots kind of held that down in the 2000s a little bit. But Micah Parsons, phenomenal player, double-digit sacks for the first 4 years of his career. Even didn't play a full season one of those seasons. So we're talking about talent. We're talking about talent. We're talking about a guy who's not even in his prime yet. So TJ just got paid. Other people just got paid. People are telling Jerry, the fans are telling Jerry at camp, like, yo, go ahead and pay Micah Parsons. Stop playing. But according to this article, Micah don't even want to be there no more. So we're gonna have to wait and see how this plays out. Season starts in less than 2 weeks. It might be one of those situations like Myles Garrett. I don't know if y'all remember that Myles Garrett was talking all that talk about getting out of Cleveland, and he didn't want to play another down for them, and then they made him the highest paid player that wasn't a quarterback, and then all was well. That might be the same situation here for Micah. It might not be. That man don't be playing. He be on his podcast talking his ish. He knows his value. He knows what it is that he brings to the team. He knows that he has those leadership attributes. He's the type of guy that Jerry wants. And, you know, today, today in today's economy, we call that leverage. We call that leverage. And I think Michael Parsons might have the upper hand here. So can't wait to see what happens with that. Um, we're not likely to see anything having to do with this play out on the new show coming out on Netflix. That was also mentioned here in the article. There's a documentary coming to Netflix regarding the Dallas Cowboys of the 90s. As you may recall, the Cowboys won 3 championships in the 90s. Those were amazing teams. Talk about Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, Deion Sanders. Um, those teams were phenomenal. And Jerry, Jerry's just, he's the master of this, guys. He's the master of this. Jerry is the master of keeping the Dallas Cowboys in the front of everybody's mind right now, whether it be the Micah Parsons situation, the documentary coming out. I saw him, I saw Jerry exercising his acting chops on the Paramount Plus show Landman. And to be honest with you, he did a damn good job. That was a hell of a part. That was a hell of a monologue he gave there. I didn't finish the series, but definitely saw that clipped up around the place. And Jerry Jones, man, the king of drama. He's definitely keeping the Cowboys on the front of everybody's minds, and he's the master. That's what he does. So hopefully, situation with Michael Parsons ends well. I want whatever he wants for Michael Parsons. And Jerry Jones, cut that out, man. That didn't pay that man. Stop playing. Our next story comes from the world of sports and sports media. UFC. UFC. Dana White. Congratulations, buddy. Congratulations. You did it. You did it. $7.7 billion. $7.7 billion. This story comes from Yahoo Sports. Correction. The story comes from Uncrowned, which is affiliated. I think they fall under the banner of Yahoo Sports, but UFC. It's the end of one era, the beginning of another for the world's biggest mixed martial arts fight promotion. Beginning in 2026, all UFC events will air on Paramount Plus in the US, from the small-time UFC Fight Night shows to the numbered events that currently cost upward of $80 each on ESPN Plus pay-per-view. In addition, according to a press release, select marquee events will also air on CBS. In exchange, the UFC goes from making approximately $550 million per year from ESPN to an average of $1.1 billion per year under this new deal. Congratulations, Dana White. You did it. You did it. For those of you not familiar, we actually have a very similar situation here. This reminds me of WWE, and when WWE signed to Peacock, not making, I wouldn't use the word free. I wouldn't use the word free. WWE signed to Peacock, and all of the material became available on Peacock. So for the PLEs, the premium live events that WWE has, that includes SummerSlam, that includes WrestleMania, things of that sort. People didn't have to kick out extra money for that. It was no longer on pay-per-view. If you had a Peacock subscription, you was able to stream those events live as well as able to watch them on replay. WWE has since made a new deal. They now have a new deal with ESPN. And it turns out that those PLEs will kind of revert back to a little bit of the pay-per-view model. So as UFC begins to exit its ESPN deal, they fall now under the banner of Paramount Plus. Once again, if you have a Paramount Plus subscription, you have UFC live events and pay-per-views now essentially for free. Uh, this is this is the power of sports. This is the power of sports. When all of these streaming services first started coming out, mind you, a lot of them had a lot of content, a lot of them had to dig into their libraries to pull up old shows and archive shows, and it was stuff that like from the 80s and 90s, like if you didn't sit and watch it when it came on, you wasn't going to see it. All of a sudden, all of those shows, the old ones and the newer ones, are streaming on these services. That was it. That was it. The real content war started when all these platforms, Paramount Plus, ESPN Plus, Disney Plus, all these apps, Netflix as well, they all started to realize the power of sports and how important sports is and having that live experience is. Shout out to Netflix for creating the live experience as they have already. Netflix with their subscription model, their sports has been baked in, so you haven't had to pay extra for those live events. Mind you, the Tyson and Paul fight, which was hot trash, but the young ladies that fought on the undercard, that fight, that was absolutely fire. Also Netflix had the NFL on for Christmas, so you didn't have to pay extra for those events. All of these platforms now are moving to that model. They realize that they have instant audiences that are baked in and prepared to watch these shows. And now people have incentive to, if someone didn't have Paramount Plus, they now have an incentive to jump over there to say, hey, well, at least now I also get this. I might not watch any of those shows, but I'm definitely a fan of the UFC. Let me go over here, sign up, subscribe, pay whatever that amount is with Paramount Plus. It's crazy because most of these apps, most of these streaming services started off pretty low. Mind you, do y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? Like around COVID, a lot of people was home. So they was like, fuck it, let me go ahead and sign up for this. It's only $5 a month. Well, now most of these services have like tripled. Most of the right now you're paying about 11, 12, 13, $14 for some of these subscription services. And mind you, that $7.7 billion that Paramount Plus now owes to UFC, where do you think that's going to come from? It's going to come from subscriptions. It's also going to come in the form of maybe licensed material. Sometimes these platforms like the licensed material from other entities, other studios, and have it on their platform, especially some of the popular stuff. I do. I rock with Paramount. I rock with Paramount Plus, the entire Mission Impossible movie series with Tom Cruise is on there. Can't wait till the Final Reckoning pops up on there. That's gonna be a fucking evening. I'm gonna have a great night that night when that pops on there. But once again, shout out to Dana White, man. He continues to do it. Uh, I saw on social media he was celebrating, had a drink and a cigar at about like 6 o'clock in the morning. There's always time to celebrate when you're able to make a major deal like this. Shout out to Dana White for making this happen. I might even jump back in to watching UFC. I pulled out pause. I pulled out watching UFC, especially when to me, like a lot of the big names started to like kind of fall off. You know, like Conor McGregor, obviously he draws crowds. John Jones, he draws crowds. The fights have been okay, but I really would love for the UFC to invest a little bit more in the personalities of these people, kind of get these people out in front. McGregor, he just had that energy. He had that energy. People were drawn to him, drawn to watching the sport because of him. I wonder who that next guy is. Who will that next guy be for the UFC to bring eyeballs to the platform so that then maybe when it's time to re-up the deal, instead of 7.7, they're looking at 10 point 10.2 billion instead of 7.7. Wonder who that person's going to be. Dana, go ahead and find that person. Or if you need my help and you want me to help you find them, I'm willing to do that too. I could travel around a little bit, go to some of these gyms and see what's good. You know what I mean? Congratulations, UFC. You got the bag. Boom. This next story hits me, hits it's a little bit personal. It's a little bit personal to home. So uh I love the show Martin. I love the show Martin. Used to watch it when it used to come on back in the 90s as well. Came on Thursday nights. It was Martin, it was Living Single, and it was New York Undercover. Thursday nights was locked down. Okay. Martin was the show. Everybody went to school the next day and was talking about what happened. So many hilarious jokes, so many iconic moments. The fight with Tommy Hearns, Martin proposing to Gina with Brian McKnight singing in the background. Uh Shanae, man, so many hilarious moments. Bruh man from the fifth floor. Remember Bruh man from the fifth floor? So Martin has been streaming on several platforms, especially on Netflix. So it's been really dope to watch this show and just kind of reminisce a little bit, have those conversations with friends about old episodes. But this next story, like I said, it's a little bit personal because I love the show Martin. So apparently, Ari Lennox, singer, songwriter, uh fairy. I don't know if she's a fairy. Uh she she had something to say. She had something to say. This story, this is posted, this is Hot 97. Singer Ari Lennox has stepped forward to clarify remarks about the sitcom Martin after her critique how the character Pam was portrayed sparked strong reactions online. Uh, Ari Lennox was not a fan, apparently, of a lot of the joking that happened in the show. She considers a lot of that joking to happen at the expense of Pam. Pam and Martin, the dynamic that they had in the show, he would go at her, she would go at him. But she expressed some really strong reactions towards that, and she really wasn't a fan of that. The conversation began last month when Lennox took to social media, drawing a mix of support and criticism in response. In a clip shared by the Shade Room, Lennox expressed deep admiration for the show's cultural significance and the talents of its cast. If I had ill intent, I would have come on here with a PowerPoint presentation to support my claims about the nature of the jokes, she said, calling some moments wild while emphasizing her respect for the actors involved. So this is one of those things I'm not a fan of. This is one of those things I'm really not a fan of. I'm not a fan of us going back and reaching back to a time and looking at it through the lens of today. The show Martin was a hit. It was hilarious. It was on in everybody's classrooms. It was on in everybody was talking about that show. White, black, Hispanic, everybody was talking about the show Martin. Pam and Martin used to joke on each other all the time within the show. She's calling him short, Shorty Murphy, all the jokes Martin used to get at her, talking about her bug shots, talking about her hair, calling her dog, all that type of stuff, right? And I mean, it's one of those things where like, yo, you just had to be there. You had to be there. You know that like getting joking on people was a thing. It was a thing. It was a thing like in school, whether you was popular or not. Jonesing on people, that's what they kind of called it or whatever. Like that was a thing. I get that now, and looking at it through today's lens and all of this cyberbullying and making fun of people and standing up for the unspoken for, et cetera, et cetera. It's not the same. It's not the same. Pam held her own. Pam held her own. And here's the other part too. She's talking about the jokes that Martin had for Pam. Everybody got them jokes. Everybody got them jokes. Y'all remember, like, she's making it seem. I don't know if this is like a color thing, and we talking about the brown girls and the light skinned girls. Like, I don't know if she just seen School Days one too many times. Like she's making it seem like, oh man, he was treating her ill and treating her wrong because she was dark skinned. But everybody got them jokes. Tommy got them jokes. Cole got them jokes. Gina got them jokes as well too. Y'all remember Martin joking about Gina head all the time? How big her head was. Remember her head got stuck in the damn headboard? She had to put the wig on and go to the meeting at work and try to sell some shit. Like, everybody got the jokes in the show. And the thing is, Ari Lennox, she's absolutely like anybody. She's entitled to feel how she feels. However, with someone of her celebrity, right? Like, when you get on these platforms and you say this type of stuff, like you're putting that stuff into the ether, right? And so this article, this is more about her response to her initially putting that information out, saying that she felt like Pam got joked on a little bit too much. So she's basically responding and doubling down and saying, she's reacting to fans being like, yo, you just wilding, like they was just joking around. And she's like, nah, like for real, like it's bad. That wasn't cool. You can't look at it through the lens of today, mama. You can't do that. Okay? You had to be there. And to be honest with you, you missed out. You missed out. The 90s was a time. The 90s was a time. I can say that. I was there. It's no different than the generation before me. Talking about the 80s was a time. The 70s was a time. People have said those things. Nowadays, everybody's just real fickle about this stuff, and that's why I don't blame like the comedians. The comedians nowadays start talking about they're actually kind of bucking against it a little bit. They're actually kind of leaning into topics and making fun of things and not caring because it seemed like we had gotten too sensitive at one point, right? It's funny. I think about it now. Comedy shows on TV. What comedy shows are on TV right now? What comedy shows are on TV right now? It's hard to find them because it so much probably has to go into that writing process to make sure that certain groups of people or categories of people are not offended. And so you see it. You see sort of like a renaissance with the comics where they're like, yo, we're going to go to these platforms that will either give us a voice or I don't got to worry about that. See a lot of comics posting their damn stand-up specials to YouTube. Like, yo, I could just post it here and be funny. I could just post it there and be funny. I could make a deal. I could make a deal with this platform or that platform to have my comedy special done because somebody wants to hear these jokes. Somebody wants to hear these jokes, even if they are at the expense of somebody else. So, Ari Lennox, just turn it off. If you're not a fan, then turn it off. You can always change the channel. No need to announce your how disappointed you are or how you feel. Like this was one of those things where it's like sometimes you know how like people just like you can have a thought about something, but that don't necessarily mean you need to say something about it. You might not have to say nothing about it out loud. And that's part of the problem with, some of these kids nowadays. Y'all just want to share. Y'all want to share everything. Everything don't need to be shared. This didn't need to be shared at all. This didn't need to be shared at all. So sorry you're disappointed, but I'm gonna keep watching. I'm gonna keep watching Martin. You could turn it off. I'm gonna keep it on. Got a little baseball here to talk about. Congrats to the polar bear, Pete Alonso. This story is from MLB.com. Several minutes after Pete Alonso hit his 253rd career home run, becoming the only player in Mets history to reach that number, Citi Field's oversized scoreboard cut to a shot of him at first base. A paid crowd of 39,748 had already spent some time serenading Alonso, chanting his name, and celebrating him during the curtain call. That's how Pete Alonso spent his first moments as the Mets home run king, a title that until Tuesday, Darryl Strawberry had held exclusively for 37 years. Congratulations, Pete Alonso, on this accomplishment. Also, congratulations, Mets, on the big win because we needed that. We needed that. We on this little losing streak right now. We don't need that. We got one of the highest payrolls in baseball. Let's go ahead and start. Let's go ahead and start stringing these wins together. Start stringing these wins together. Once again, congratulations, Pete Alonso. Major, awesome accomplishment. Hope we can get that real signing done. Make him a Met for life. He absolutely, positively deserves that. Um, we got a squad. We got a squad. We got Soto. Come on, man. Let's go ahead. Let's string these wins together. Let's bring the World Series home. We deserve that. We can make that happen. You know what? Speaking of Soto, got a wild story about that. Wild story about that. So I one day am, y'all know I'm a sports fan, right? So I got my teams, Mets, Jets, Nets, Devils. Y'all know what it is. But I'm a big sports fan. So I have no problem touring other teams' facilities, arenas, whatever. Crazy, crazy. I'm with the fam. I am touring the Washington Nationals stadium. Touring their stadium before a game that evening. Crazy Juan Soto story. Touring the stadium, right? Part of our tour, I get to go down. We're at field level watching the team take batting practice. I'm talking about right there, right behind home plate. Crack, ball gone. Crack, ball gone. Oh man, amazing. Truly one of the best experiences ever. So, touring the facility, watching the players take batting practice, going into the suites, seeing all the luxury bars and stuff behind the scenes, watching where they got the World Series trophy. This was like a year or two ago. So they had the World Series trophy that they won 2019. Got to see where that was sitting up and everything, right? Walk through the facility, walk down this hallway, take an elevator up to walk across, come all the way back down. Bro, they took us to the indoor batting practice facility. So like it's like a little oversight thing that you could do where you could kind of look down to the indoor batting practice. So it's wild because I'm like, yo, y'all, these dudes, we typically only hear about people taking batting practice like outside and whatever before the game. Some of these dudes is like taking batting practice again inside. Didn't know that. That was news to me. I'm a baseball fan. I'm not the biggest baseball fan, but my Mets, we gonna get it. We gonna get it done this year. Anyway, so through the hoopla, up the elevator, down, come down the other side, walk up to the glass. Guess who's taking batting practice inside? Juan Soto. Juan Soto's taking batting practice indoors at the National Stadium, right? Crack. It's just like being like field level, like right behind the plate. Like he's just smacking him, right? Some guy walks in and just waves at him, tell him like, come here, right? And I'm with a group. It's a group of people. I wish I had the money to be getting like a private tour. I'm not there yet. We working on it. Y'all can help me out. Guys, subscribe to the podcast. Greatly appreciate that. not a private tour. I'm touring maybe with about like a group of about like 12 people, 10 or 12 people. Again, with the family. Yo, we were like, oh my gosh, this is Juan Soto. He's an amazing player. The team is having like the down year. They got the World Series already. And if y'all know, like with the Nationals, they kind of shipped everybody out like shortly after that, Bryce Harper, et cetera, et cetera. Yo, we were in the building, we were in the stadium when Juan Soto was traded to the Padres. We saw it. We saw it with our own eyes. Again, the guy came, waved him on, and like, he was taking batting practice. He was hitting crack, crack, killing them. Right? When he got waved on, you just saw like this doom and gloomy walk that he made, and it was like, what the hell just happened? Like, it's almost like you ever watch somebody doing something, and in the middle of that, they might get a phone call, right? The phone call's about like a family member might have passed away or something like that. It was that. It was that type of vibe. It was that type of vibe. He just sulking. The group, we start walking away. We're talking like not even a minute later. Everybody's phone. Ding, 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 ding. Juan Soto's being traded to the Padres. We was there. We was there. I was there. That was crazy. That was crazy. But shout out to Juan Soto, man. Shout out to Pete Alonso. Congratulations. Mets home run king. Let's go ahead and let's finish the job, guys. Let's go get that World Series popping. Let's go. Let's do it. Appreciate y'all rocking out with your boy. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me, and I appreciate you for that. Before we go, I want to give a shout out to my bruv, Zelly Thomas. Zelly Thomas, appreciate you, my brother. Had a great conversation with Zelly. You guys can find that podcast. It's been posted on YouTube. It's also posted to wherever you listen to your podcasts. Zelly Thomas, he's a teacher and he's an activist in the city of Patterson, my hometown. My hometown is going through it right now. At this moment, they are enduring a water crisis. A huge water main broke. And so many of the city's population, Pattersonians, are without water at this time. Um, truly sad. Also, some surrounding areas, some other surrounding boroughs and cities are also without water. Please look him up. Zelly Thomas. He's on Instagram. He's on Facebook. Reach out to him. Find out how you can help. Uh, let's say Patterson, man. They need some water. They're in dire need of it. They've been without water for 4 or 5 days now. Please, if you're able to donate, please reach out to my homeboy Zelly Thomas, man. Greatly appreciate that. Also, shout out to the guy. Shout out to the guy in Atlantic City who he shot at a seagull for stealing his food. Yo, I've been through that, yo. I've been through that. I've been in Atlantic City on the boardwalk, minding my damn business, trying to take a bite out of my pizza, and I had a goddamn seagull land on my shoulder and steal my pizza out of my hand. Shout out to the guy who shot the seagull or shot at the seagull. I think he got arrested. I'm not sure if he actually hit the seagull, but fuck them seagulls, okay? Fuck them seagulls. Last but not least, shout out to the Joe and Jada podcast. Joe and Jada podcast got me in a chokehold right now. Fat Joe, Jada Kiss, some of the best hip hop stories. This is very reminiscent of a time in the 90s and the 2000s when you used to get the DVDs and people were telling the hip hop stories about how the song got made or how these two artists collaborated and made a song. Right now, shout out to Fat Joe. Fat Joe is one of the best storytellers ever. Fat Joe's one of the best storytellers ever. That dude has stories for days. So dope. It's so entertaining. Jada Kiss coming on there with his style, always killing it. Shout out to Jada Kiss. I met Jada Kiss long, long time ago. Willowbrook Mall. Willowbrook Mall. Shout out to Jada Kiss, one of my most favorite MCs ever, ever. Greatly appreciate y'all tuning into the podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube and listen wherever you listen to your podcast. Greatly appreciate y'all. See y'all next time. I'm out.